Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a review of the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Epic Evolution Rauisuchus, or Rauisuchus. Not 100% sure on the pronunciation. You can probably going to be corrected in the comments, but anyways, let's take a closer look at this figure. And this is the first good, Rauisuchian, I believe, and yeah, we've had Post-Asuchus in the past, which was a good figure, but it was barely released, super rare, it's like $200 now. And then we had Prest-Asuchus, which actually looks hideous. So yeah, it's nice that we finally got an actual good one, and I hope we get more good ones in the future. Maybe we could get like Rauisuchus or Rauisuchus in like the Wild Rars kind of size range, and then we can get more small ones like this. Maybe we can get a re-release of Post-Asuchus and stuff. But anyways, take a closer look at the packaging. So first we have Chaos Theory down here, Jurassic World Epic Evolution, Chaos Theory logo. You can see it's a river biome creature. Then you can see on the back some other figures. The other Chaos Theory figure I actually have this set, but yeah, pretty much nothing too crazy on the back of this. But anyways, let's get this guy out of the box, which I've already cut the things, so that should make it much easier to take out of the packaging. But yeah, here is the figure. Let me just get rid of that packaging real fast. So now, taking a closer look at this figure, you can see that it has a really nice head, looking pretty good. Nice teeth, they're pretty sharp looking. Until you've been working on that, and even though they don't have rubber teeth, they're still pretty good. And then you can also see inside, pretty solid. No pan on the upper side of the inside of the mouth, but that's not too much of an issue. Then we have kind of an osteodermy pattern going down the side. Top of the neck. Moving into the body with some nice scalations. You can see the feet very well. A lot of good scalation. And then larger osteoderms on the tail. I remember when this figure was first revealed, I really liked it, but I didn't really like the spines because they looked really big. And then I saw some in-person images of it, and it looked way better. And the more and more I look at it, the more and more I actually like them. But yeah. Moving on to the other side, pretty much exactly the same. And, yeah, pretty much the coloration is like a tealish color with a brown color scheme, and this is just a really nice color scheme. And if I can get this scan code up, which it's going to be a little bit difficult. Actually, we was able to get that one up without having to cut. But anyways, if I can get my camera to focus on it a little bit better, or at all, really. Yeah. Will it focus? Sorry, cannot get it to focus for some reason. For some reason, it wants to focus on the body and not the scan code. Okay, there's the scan code, kind of. There we go. There's the scan code. So, if you want to get this guy in your Jurassic Facts app. But anyways, we're going to move on to articulation. So, first off, there's down and up articulation on the neck. And then there's, of course, also side this, kind of rotating. Then there's jaw articulation, which actually the jaw can open really wide. But make it look more natural, you can only go about right there. And, yeah. We have leg articulation, which I noticed on every single figure. Figure I see of this guy, it's really loose for some reason. And that usually happens with danger pack size figures, the quadrupedal ones especially. And I'm not the biggest fan of that. Hopefully, I can work on that in the future. But yeah, they get loose, especially after moving them. They're just really loose and slip out of place often. But then there's also swivel on the tail. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Now, moving on to the size comparison, which this figure measures in at about 7-ish inches, about 7.5 inches. And then at the top of the hips, it measures in at about 3 inches tall. So, yeah. Anyways, actually comparing it to some things. First, we have the Lystrosaurus and Guanlong, which also released in this series. And, well, the wave previous to this, because it's kind of released in a mini wave, which included some of the older figures from the first wave, alongside the Dimorphodon. So yeah, that's kind of weird. I wish I actually, when I went to go pick up, funny thing, when I went to go pick up the Lystrosaurus and Guanlong, I was actually looking for the Rauisuchus too, because I was planning on picking up this figure right away as well. But then I found out that they didn't even release it yet. For some reason, I don't know why they did not release this figure, since that was one that most people were most excited for. But anyways, here's it compared to the Papasaurus, which is also a really unique species, danger pack figure that they released, and it's the exact same size. I think the Rauisuchus is slightly taller than the Papasaurus, but besides that, yeah. Now we have the Dacosaurus. Pretty cool. Only prehistoric croc I'm not going to be able to compare it to is actually there's only two, or croc relative at least. The only ones I cannot compare to is the Post-Asuchus, since that figure is $200 again and impossible to come across. And then the other one is the Purosaurus, but that's because it hasn't released yet. In fact, we haven't even seen what it looks like yet. So yeah. Anyways, Prest-Asuchus is the exact same size, even though it's in a different wave. It has a chomping action feature. And we're actually getting a re-release of this figure soon. It's going to be in some sort of weird color-changing thing. And I don't even know if those are mainline figures, but yeah. Anyways, this guy's going to be re-releasing a different color scheme, but yeah. Anyways, here's it compared to the Rauisuchus, also very similar size too. And yeah. Now here's it compared to the Rauisuchus, which absolutely dwarfs it in size since it's much larger animal. And then last but not least, here's it compared to the largest croc relative, since Articulation is not an actual croc. Again, Articulation. Really big and can actually hold this whole entire figure in its mouth, it's so large. And the Parasaurus should be similar size to the Sarco. Not in real life, Parasaurus was quite a bit larger than Sarco, but it's released in the same size range as Articulation, so that's how big it's going to be. But yeah, anyways, now I'm just going to compare it to the last things, where I probably should have done this first, but here's it compared to a Velociraptor and a human, which a Velociraptor is a bit taller than it, and a human, it comes pretty high up, especially at the highest point. So, yeah. Anyways, for my final thoughts on this figure, it is very nice, and I definitely recommend picking it up, especially if you're a fan of Triassic animals and stuff. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, and goodbye.